Sunday of Advent reflection. We are very close to Christmas. First Sunday, ardently waiting for the Lord and be prepared. The Lord invited us. Second Sunday, He said, prepare a straight path. The voice in the wilderness is asking for a straight path. And third Sunday is John the Baptist. The news about Jesus discouraged him, and Jesus made that news into a good news. Now today, the Lord is come. Now He is there. He is conceived in Mary's womb. And what is exactly happening in that Christmas? Of course, Gospel of Matthew writes, it's more towards Saint Joseph, where Saint Luke's Gospel is Marian Gospel. Now here the focus, after the genealogy, now the birth of Jesus Christ took place in this way. Which way? The news of the Lord, the good news. Is it really good news in Joseph's life? That is a doubt. That is the doubt. Because Joseph had a plan. Joseph had a dream. Because she was betrothed to him. In Jewish culture, there are 3 stages in marriage, where engagement, where they speak about the spouses, and then betrothal, where it's actually marriage is happening. Of course, they don't physically stay together. So the wedding function will happen after one year or so, according to the bridegroom's wish. So now the betrothal is done. For example, if the bridegroom is dead, so the betrothed wife is considered as a widow. So if they are betrothed, though they don't have stayed together, if they fall into another sexual relationship, it is considered as adultery. So the marriage is completed there. So Joseph is betrothed to her. So he had a plan, he had a frame, he had a vision, and that dream is broken with a dream. Now the real meaning of Christmas lies when you allow the Lord to come to your life. It happens with your free will. Don't ever think Saint Joseph is an old person and no feelings, not at all. No, he's a healthy person, healthy man, he's a carpenter. But then he had to decide, he had to choose for the Lord, he had to give his room, he had to allow the Lord to come to his life by breaking his own plan. Now when we compare the first reading to the Gospel, my dear friends, we find King Ahaz there. King Ahaz is there, and he is the king of the southern kingdom, which is Jerusalem is the capital, and that is Judea. So he was not with alliance with Samaria and Damascus. I mean, Samaria is the northern kingdom. King Pekah was there, and Damascus we call it Syria, and King Rezin is there. So the Israel, or the northern kingdom, and Syria wanted not to pay taxes for Assyrians. That's the main powerful force. So in that way, now King Rezin and Pekah, kings of Damascus and Samaria, they wanted to attack us, because he was not in line with their wish of cutting off from Assyria. So in that dilemma, in that catastrophe, in that problem, King Ahaz had a plan to get the support of Assyrians, because they're the powerful nation. So in that background, Prophet Isaiah is going there to say, you don't have to get the help of Assyrians. I will be protecting you, I will be strengthening you. But then he had already planned it. So that's why, if you read carefully, ask for a sign. The Lord would give you a sign. Sign for what? If the sign is right, you should not get the help of Assyrians. But then he of course, is pretending as if he's a good person, saying, I will not put the Lord to test. This is not Deuteronomy says, you should not put the Lord to test. But then this is not exactly what he's doing. He wanted his plan so strongly, ardently, that he didn't want to change his plan. That's exactly what happened. So God still said, I will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son. So in that way, so scholars say that the word virgin is not the exact word in Hebrew Bible. That's Alma, which means a young woman. It's not the virgin. In translating the word to Septuagint, so it's a converted translation happened with the interpretation. So she became a virgin. So this can be one of his own wives. And so that's a sign. So us wanted that plan not to change. But then when it comes to St. Joseph, he was in a dilemma. He was in a terrible problem as to how my wife got pregnant and how this thing happened. He could not fathom it. But then he loved Mary so much. If you love Mary, my dear friends, behold your mother. Jesus gave her to ourselves. If you love Mary, you will never go astray. Had that prodigal son had a mother in his own house, she will never allow the prodigal son to go away. That's why some people call it a parable without a mother. So that's exactly. So when he loved Mary so much, he thought of leaving her by putting the blame on him. So the people will put the allegation on St. Joseph, saying that this person doesn't have any self-control. Without the marriage, they have stayed together. So he wanted to take the blame on him and leave Mary, protect Mary. So that was his plan. So that was his second plan. But then the Lord appeared to him in an angel, and then the angel spoke to St. Joseph and said, "You don't be scared." My dear friends, in sleep, you understand the word sleep. That's in Hebrew, tardema. Tardema means Adam was put to sleep before Eve was created to take the rib. That's tardema. In Genesis chapter 15, Abraham was put to sleep before giving the covenant. That's tardema. So Joseph had a dream. Of course, that's spiritual ecstasy. Joseph, even in Old Testament, he had a dream, isn't it? So now the dream says, don't be scared. Why he should be scared to marry Mary? So this is the natural nature of a calling, vocation. He called Jeremiah and he said, I'm young. He called Moses and he said, I'm a stammerer. He called Isaiah and said, I'm a person with bad, dirty lips. All of them were scared. Even Peter said, I'm a sinner. Then the word of God strengthened whom he has called by saying, fear not. So now he's given a mission. Maybe Joseph had thought that I don't have any part to play in this salvation history if she is bearing the Son of God. So I will go away. He was with fear. The Lord is saying, don't be scared. She will bear a son, and he's going to be Emmanuel, and he's going to be Jesus. And there are two names in the very same paragraph. Jesus is Joshua. Joshua means God saves. And he's Emmanuel. God is going to be with us. God is with us. That's the beginning of Matthew's gospel. You go to 28th chapter, that's the end. He stayed with them till the end. So God is with us. So for the Lord to be with us, you have to let go of your plan, break your plan, tarnish your dream. Don't be scared. The Lord is saying to you today, don't be scared. Have Mary in your life. If you accept Mary in your life, devil will have no power over you. She will intercede. She must have prayed for Joseph. She knew that he's in struggle. That's a beautiful bond when you have Mary in your life. And think about it. What are the desires that you hold? What are the plans that you hold strongly? You don't have to be scared. Christmas is a time where you, from BC to AD, where you have a demarcation of your history and your new life. Jesus should separate it. So for that, you have to break your plan for him to execute his plan in your life. Learn from Joseph. Maybe you will be having an ulterior plan. You have a desire. Of course, it can be good also. Marrying Mary is never bad. But then, when it comes to the Lord, you have to leave the bad definitely. But then more than that, even sometimes you have to leave good. for a better plan, for your plan to be broken, for his plan to be executed. Think about it. Have a nice day. May God bless you.